Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My name is Naila and I want to help you with your marriage. Welcome back for our second episode. In the last video, we spoke about how important it is to get daily doses of love in your relationship. That consistency is what is the key for a good marriage, no matter how small the act of love. Another thing that people often overlook in a marriage is how couples talk to each other. Now, notice that I'm emphasizing the word how. It's not sufficient to just talk in a marriage, but there's a certain way that you speak to your spouse. It's vital that spouses congratulate each other, compliment each other, say I love yous, and express gratitude. When we sweet talk our spouses, we actually create an emotional intimacy because it's those sweet, loving words that touches another person's heart and makes them feel safe with you. It's interesting. In a narration in Sahih Bukhari, the Prophet ﷺ says, "Al-kalimat al-tayyiba sadaqa." A kind word is charity. And the scholars, they actually go into great detail trying to explain this hadith. How can a kind word actually be deemed charity? One explanation by our scholars is that when you give someone money, their face actually lights up in happiness. And just the same, when you tell someone a kind word, their face lights up in happiness because it softens their heart and draws them near to you. It's natural that people are going to feel inclined towards someone that speaks sweet words. It's much more attractive in a marriage to be someone who expresses gratitude and expresses love than be harsh and critical, which unfortunately can all too often become a nasty habit in a relationship. Another thing that the scholars mention is that a kind word is like charity in terms of the reward. So when a person says something sweet or kind or nice to another person, it's as if they are giving charity in the like in terms of reward. And this is a great thing for us to remember as spouses, because when we say something sweet or nice to our spouse, it really needs to be for the intention of Allah Most High, that we're doing this in order to please Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. In another narration, the Prophet ﷺ said, "Ittaqu nar walau bishaq tamara, fa in lam tajid fa bi kalimatin tayyiba." Save yourself from the hellfire, even if it be with giving half of a date in charity. And if you cannot find that, then by just saying a kind word. So imagine this. By just saying something nice to somebody, anybody, this is a way and a means for you to be saved from the hellfire. And this is really beautiful on different levels, that Islam makes worshiping God so easy that you don't have to have a lot of money in order to earn reward. You can give charity by just being a nice person. And these are all great things to remember for spouses, because in a marriage, sweet talk equals sweet love. Those sweet, kind, tender words create something so sacred in the marriage. So if you're not already doing this, a great place to start and an easy place to start is to integrate more pleases and thank yous in your marriage. But in my opinion, pleases and thank yous, they're actually not enough. That's not the real core of a kalimat tayyiba. And the scholars actually give examples in books as well as what is actually meant with a kalimat tayyiba. And the examples that they give really match up with what should be done in a marriage. They are words that actually recognize a person's good character traits. So a kalimat tayyiba, a kind word in your marriage, means that you actively tell your spouse how great they are, and on every type of level that you're able to do that. What's really interesting from a psychological perspective is that when you appreciate someone's good qualities, when you actually point out and let them know that you notice those beautiful character traits in them, it reinforces their desire to emulate that and to mirror those qualities back to you. That praise, that encouragement stimulates some type of good feeling in a person's heart, and they will want to feel that goodness again. So every time you point out and actively express and explicitly express something noteworthy about the person, they will want to experience that good feeling again, and you will be the receiver of that goodness. And this is something that a lot of people don't understand. They want to hold back the love and the way that they talk, but they're actually only cheating themselves when you hold back praise. And even worse, if you just supplement it with criticism, you're going to have a really dry and possibly rocky marriage. So what are some things that you can say to your spouse? Well, the best thing is to actually say what's authentic, what you actually noticed from the bottom of your heart. Everybody has some type of good quality and trait within them. So actively tell your spouse the good that you see within them. But if you're looking for ideas, here are a few. Tell your spouse that they're generous, they're caring, they're loving, they're responsible, they're intelligent, they're the best person to be around, that they're the greatest company you have, that they are so dependable, that they're your best friend, that they're supportive, and that they're a good person with other people too. Maybe your spouse is a great friend to people. Maybe they're great with your own parents, so they're a good son-in-law or daughter-in-law. Or maybe they're just really good with their own family. So to their parents, they're a great son or daughter. And people really do appreciate a spouse noticing these qualities within them, those core character traits that makes up a person's goodness. I have met some people that are actually quite shy to say these things out loud to their spouse. Maybe they're not the most emotionally expressive people. And sometimes I even meet people that say, well, they already know that they're like that. Why do I have to say it? Because it helps the person feel connected to you. You want to create an emotional intimacy. And the best way to do that is by actually complimenting someone, recognizing them for who they are, who their raw heart is. And just remember, every time you do it, it's worship to Allah Most High. It's as if you are giving charity. And so the wise person is the one who keeps putting sadaqah in the sadaqah box. This is going to pay off in more ways than one. You're going to warm the heart of another person and make them feel closer to you. Spouses have to give back to each other. It's not just about rubbing the other person's back and just doing things for each other. You need to talk to each other in a certain way. You need to express that love. And the most simplest and easiest way is through a kind word. I hope that you found this video beneficial, and inshallah, you will join us for the third hadith.